Are you new in the US? There are 7 costly mistakes you need to know about because one wrong move in your first year can set you back for years. And the crazy part is that most of these mistakes don't look like mistakes at all. They feel very normal and they feel harmless until you realize they've been quietly draining your money, your time, and your opportunities. I've seen it happen over and over again. Hardworking people move to the US, chasing a better life, but within months, they are stuck, they are stressed, and they are falling behind. Not because they are not smart, but because nobody told them how the system actually works here. So, in this video, I'm breaking down the 7 most common mistakes immigrants make in their first year, and more importantly, how to avoid them so you can move forward faster than everyone else. Let's start with mistake number 1, and this one alone can cost you thousands of dollars if you get it wrong, and that is ignoring your credit score. In many countries, credit score doesn't really matter, but in the US, your credit score controls almost everything. It literally controls your life, where you live, what you pay, even the opportunities you get. I've seen people who have lived here for years and still struggle because they never built their credit score. So start early, open a checking account as soon as possible, and start building your credit score immediately. Even if you have to start with a secured credit card, this will help in growing your credit score and your credit history. Make sure you pay your credit balance on time and also keep your credit card balance low, like below 30% of your credit limit. Understanding your credit score may be frustrating and confusing at the beginning, and I went through this in my first year in the US until I got to learn how to navigate it and grow it successfully. Mistake number 2 is getting stuck in survival mode. It's true your first job might not be your dream job, and that's normal for a big number of immigrants to the US. But some people get comfortable in their first jobs without understanding their market value, or they become too tired to move forward. And suddenly, 5 years pass by and nothing has changed. Always have a plan. Research on salaries on platforms like Glassdoor. Keep applying for other jobs even after getting your first job. Don't stop improving your skills. Learn something new. Go back to school if you can. And remember, your first job is not your final destination. Mistake number 3 is having bad money habits and spending like you're already rich. By the way, the US makes it very easy to spend money. You use credit cards for almost all your transactions. There are payment plans, and if you're not careful, you may be stuck in a buy now, pay later mode because it is so easy to do that. And if you fall behind in your credit card payment, this may lead to credit card debt, which can trap you for years. Just because you can buy it doesn't mean you should. So, what can you do instead? You can create a monthly budget to help you spend within your means. And if you can track all your spending during the first 3 months to see where your money is going, this is really going to be helpful. Also, build an emergency fund as soon as possible and avoid lifestyle inflation, where you upgrade your lifestyle every time you have an increase in your income, even when it is not necessary. Mistake number 4 is ignoring health insurance. The US healthcare isn't just expensive, it is also very confusing. Just remember that this is not your home country. One hospital visit can cost you thousands of dollars. And one of the biggest items on most Americans' debt is hospital bills. So don't take that risk. I remember I had to learn the hard way how the health system worked here without health insurance. When I was hit with a huge hospital bill the first time I got sick, and went to see a doctor just a few months after I arrived in the US. I went to the hospital instead of going to an urgent care facility, and I was so shocked to get a bill that was over $1,000. Mistake number five is having no network and trying to do everything alone. In the US, opportunities come through people and not just applications. Things like jobs, business, and growth are all about connections. So talk to people and build relationships. Americans listen to recommendations from people they know and trust. So that one connection you make can change your life, but staying in your comfort zone will limit your entire life here in the US. It's common to see most immigrants make the mistake of trying to go through the first year alone. When you move to the US, you often feel like you have to figure it all out by yourself. I tried to do this, and I'll be honest, it was lonely. Here's the truth: having a network is everything. You need people you can ask for advice, share experiences with, and even just hang out with them when homesickness hits. So don't wait. Start building connections as soon as you arrive. If this video is helping you so far, hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps more people see this video. Mistake number six is not understanding US taxes. Taxes in the US are not automatically handled the same way everywhere. And before I continue on this subject about taxes, I just want to put a disclaimer that I'm not a tax expert. I am only talking based on my experience, and I'm still learning. Most new immigrants think that when they receive their W 2 form from their employer, their taxes are fully deducted and done. But that's not the case. You need to file your taxes every year before the 15th of April, even if you didn't have an income that tax year. So do your research on US taxes and learn the basics of federal and state taxes, and file your taxes through professional tax platforms. Using professionals to file your taxes is extremely important, or you may end up owing the IRS money you had no idea about. I have also learned that different cities in the same state have different tax requirements. So find out about tax requirements in your city, especially when you live in one city and then move to another city. Mistake number seven is feeling like you're behind and rushing decisions because you're comparing yourself with other immigrants who have been in the US longer than you and have different dynamics from yours. Let's face it, the US is a fast paced country, but you need to remember that everyone's timeline is different. So focus on consistent progress and build your new life step by step, and avoid any shortcuts that may hurt your long term growth. Okay, I get it. Moving to a new country is not easy. You're encountering new things in a system you don't understand. And sometimes you feel like you're starting from zero, but you're not really starting from zero. You are starting from experience. You're just doing it from another location. Once you get to understand your new system, you will be able to navigate through much more easily. And remember, the people who succeed in the US are not the smartest. They are the ones who adapt quickly. So learn the system and avoid these mistakes and keep moving forward, even when it's hard. If you have made it to this point and have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments if you have made any of these mistakes, or if you have made any mistakes of your own, and what lessons you learned from them. And see you in my next video.